Hello world, this is Farzam Asad and today this is my final project for CS50X. Now let's just dive into the project. Basically it's just a web app with a headless CMF integration behind it. Basically I have two servers running here. One is a Strappy server which acts as an headless CMS with another server which is basically the Flask backend server. Moving on ahead, if we just execute the code and then we will be redirected towards the home page, and the home page is basically a static HTML CSS page which talks about the project. What is the project, what does the project look like, what was the motivation behind it, what was the technology used, a little introduction about me, some redirect links, and a accordion with some of my latest projects which I have worked on in the recent past. Now moving on to the headless CMS, which will be achieved by logging into our system. And the system is basically a simple login form which does two things. The first one being validating the user into the local database, and second will be validating the user into the Strappy platform. So basically when the user first arrives on the website and registers, like for example I'll do a quick registration, like for example we have Alik for example, and then we have just a random comer, and then I will just add his Gmail. The role will be set to participant. Let's just select a random city and a password. Now remember that the password and the email are the key components over here. Here I would like to add one more thing, that we have integrated HTML validation over here. For example, if the user forgets to add an entry into the form, then he or she will be notified to add their entry. For the time being I will be adding some random entries into the system. Now one thing that I like to add over here is that when we click on OK, I'm done, there will be two separate registration. The first registration will be into the local database and the second registration will be done into the Strappy system. Now if we go ahead and log the user into our system with the login, we will be redirected onto the content page, and there are two things to note about the content page. The first thing will be the content page consists of different content fetched from the Strappy platform. Basically these are API calls which have been made and displayed onto the content page. And one thing that I would like to add, if the user clicks on the card, then he or she will be redirected onto the full length of the document. And one thing that I like about this navigation bar or nav bar is that the user can navigate through the entire app with the navigation, with the nav bar technically. Now if I go back to the content page, I will be viewed the same content cards, and one great thing that we can see over here is a dashboard, and the dashboard just shows you about your details which were added into the database and a few options whether to delete your account or to change the password for your account. Note that this changes password for both your Strappy web platform and your local database. Moving on ahead with the chat room, which is actually the highlight of this app, and basically we have the user logged in, and if I go ahead and say hello, basically I have one more user waiting here, and he or she will get a message of hello. And this is one of the best things that I think I have implemented into this database. Basically it uses some Flask WebSockets to receive the message and then display the message on this div or on this container. So if we move on ahead, I think that's the entirety of the platform. and if we log out, then the user cannot log back into the platform, as the session have been cleared for the user who have actually logged in to the web app. So we have actually played with this session and the JWT tokens of the user to not only prevent the user from doing any malicious activity, but also to stop the user from entering back into the platform. So basically that was the entirety of the project. Hope you like it. Thank you for viewing.